I know what I ordered, just make it. Years ago, I worked at a local coffee shop. We served the standard coffee shop menu of coffee drinks and pastries we made in-house. One of our coffee drinks on the menu was a macchiato. We served a traditional macchiato, which is a double shot of espresso with a touch of steamed milk and milk foam, but since a certain chain has named a very different drink the same thing, I would always try to clarify what the customer was ordering when they asked for one. One day a woman came up to the counter on her cell phone. She briefly pulled the phone away from her head long enough to mouth caramel macchiato at me. I started my spiel about how we serve a traditional macchiato, which is quite small. Did she want that or one like the other place makes? She cut me off 3 words in and dramatically said, "I know what it is. Just make it." So I rang her up and made it. I made her a tiny drink with espresso, caramel syrup and milk foam. When I gave it to her, she finally got off her phone call and told me I clearly made it wrong. I explained I made what she ordered as she told me she knew what she was ordering. She now said she wanted one like she would get at national chain, which I happily made and charged her for. She did not get a refund on the first drink. Now to the comments. 1 for the price of 2. It's the stupid tax. /r/stupid tax. If she wants a national chain caramel macchiato, she's quite welcome to either A. Get off the dang phone when interacting with the human beings behind the counter, or B. Go back to national chain. OP replied, preferably both. Sounds like a sign like distracted ordering not allowed. Violators must go to the back of the line might be in order. This reminded me of a customer I had yesterday. She ordered a soy latte and a caramel latte on full cream. When I brought her the first coffee, she was alone and talking on the phone. I said loudly, "Caramel latte?" As I put it down and she started dragging the coffee towards her while still talking on the phone and refusing to look at me. I repeated, "That's the caramel latte," before I went and got her soy latte. When I put it down I said, "Soy latte." She looked at me and said, "Is that the caramel latte?" "No, that's the soy latte." She then said, "So I've been drinking the caramel latte? I can't drink that. I should have been told what it was. You should have told me." I literally just walked away because duck that. I don't need to take shit from anyone at work besides my boss, as I don't rely on tips. I earn a fair wage. I have no idea how she couldn't taste the caramel. I should mention she drank almost a third of the ducking latte before I brought over the soy latte. How? Unrelated, guess I just wanted to vent here. Glad you charged her for both drinks. OP. We make traditional macchiato at the cafe I work for too. I've never had an issue with them before though. Edit, a couple people have asked why I didn't bring the coffees out at the same time. A couple reasons, but the main thing being I'm a hospitality noob. I've had this job for almost 3 months and I'm an all-rounder who mostly does dishes and brews coffee. I'm taking all the advice I can know and I really appreciate it. I have no prior hospitality experience besides an RSA/RCG course I took. I agree that it's silly and I should take them out at the same time, but I hate to admit how many coffees I've spilled attempting to when I couldn't. It's 6. Duck that person and anyone who doesn't step aside to take a call or tell the call to wait a moment. Most of my managers are cool, and let me tell people that the order can wait until they're done on the phone. The last time I had someone who was on the phone, I waited and helped 3 other people until she was done on the phone, and before she got to her order, I got a phone order. She was so pissed and I was so happy. If someone on their phone isn't giving me, their server, the necessary attention for me to place their order, I don't serve them either. It's a shame because at my cafe you order, take a table number, and someone brings it out to you. If I could I would have waited, but Saturdays are so busy. I did something similar, but the customer was with a friend instead of on the phone. I watched her confidently take a big sip, crinkle her face in disgust, and not touch it again until it was time to leave. She threw it in the garbage. At least she knew she messed up, so there's that. So annoying. Those people that enter a line while talking on their phones. I know sometimes the call is very important, but if that's the case, get out of the line and deal with the call with their full attention. So sorry Princess Macchiato had to put her life on hold for the whole 2 minutes it takes to order and pay for her drink. I can count on one hand the number of times I've continued or taken a call while ordering or paying. Once it was an important call back and I apologized to the cashier and tried my best to give her my full attention. The other time I was young and stupid and I now put casual conversations on hold or I hang up. Same here. I think the one time I took a call while in an interaction with a cashier, it was in order to straighten out an issue with my health insurance. I was due to drop off my parents' coverage in a week or two, and couldn't risk my coverage lapsing. Appropriate Midwestern niceties were exchanged before I answered. One of my favorite little coffee shops back home had a sign at the register that said, if you're on your phone when you step up to the register, you'll be skipped and we'll take the next in line. I very rarely saw public freakouts about being skipped, and I don't think I've ever gotten through a line faster than at that shop. It was really nice to see people say things like, oh, I'm at place, they don't like phones so I'll call you back, or place their caller on hold while they gave their full attention to order. I think they closed a few years ago, but it was pleasant. I used to work drive-through, and anytime somebody cut me off while I was taking their order, I would only ring up and give them exactly what they said. So, you want a 3-piece? Okay. Rang them up for 3 individual pieces of chicken, not the combo. They would get so mad, and I'd say nothing as they knew better than me how that conversation should go. I had a drive-through worker who did this unprompted and said the machine will automatically make it a combo. It did not. Then I told her to refund it because she didn't give me a combo, which preceded her to throw racist remarks and me and manager giving me $40 coupon to shut me up over $1 difference between the combo and separate items. I still don't know how to feel about this because $40 was a lot, but she threw racist remarks. Edit, I posted this before and got a lot of downvotes, and being called a Karen. So, if that occurs again, I am never gonna mention this on this subreddit again. I wouldn't say that sounds very Karen. You got overcharged and wanted a refund. I would have been pissed too. I used to explain to every who ordered a macchiato exactly what it was. A lot of coffee places either make them wrong or different, so it was always safer to ask them exactly how they wanted it. I'll use the macchiato as a litmus test to evaluate if the place I am ordering from knows what they are doing, and subsequently if I will be back willingly. Love the username lol. I use the sound. If the milk sounds like it is being murdered, I'm out lol. A macchiato is an espresso with a touch of milk. A latte macchiato, what national chain serves, is milk with a touch of espresso. Macchiato just means stained. A cafe macchiato is an espresso with a touch of milk. A latte macchiato is milk with a touch of espresso. A lot of these kinds of situations come up because everyone abbreviates, not just the national chain. WTF is wrong with these people? If this would happen to me. 1. I'd gladly drink the coffee number 1 to see if it would be something I like. 2. Still order coffee number 2 to have a better comparison, and 3. Decide on what I would order in the future as my new favorite. It's like she actively refuses to learn. This is the sort of shit that infuriates me because my mom is exactly the same. We were in Vietnam a few years ago and the food I ordered in the hotel's restaurant, so the servers spoke at least basic English, didn't come with rice or any other sides, unlike the other dishes, just meat and sauce in a bowl. My reaction was A. Did I read the menu wrong and was supposed to order a side myself? B. Did they forget to bring a side or mention I should order one separately? Or C. Is the dish just like this? But before I managed to ask the server, my mom is furious and yelling about the lack of rice or whatever, and the servers ask the chef to cook a bowl of rice, after which they keep their distance, so I didn't have much of a chance to ask if I had ducked up or what. And then she wonders why I don't like going to restaurants with her. You didn't mention her reaction. If she accepted her mistake, then I forgive her. If not, then karma will repay her for your troubles. OP replied. No, she demanded I make the correct drink, then refused to pay, then paid but threatened to get me fired. I did not get fired. Ugh. I hope you just tell yourself I had to live with her for 5 minutes, but she has to live with herself for the rest of her life. That has always calmed me after this type of encounter.